Hi everyone, welcome to the Visual Builder Cloud Service online course. So in this lecture, we are going to look at how to load data on a page load and how to navigate from one flow to another. This is a very frequent requirement in each and every web application when you create, whether it's you are creating in a VBCS or in HTML or in Java or in .NET, that you need to load some data before the web application load, or you need to call any external API, or you need to initialize few variables before the page gets loaded so that you can use these variables or the external service responses at multiple places in the page or in the whole application. So why do you need it? Why do you need it? So let's take an example. You need to call an external REST API, and this response of this API you need to use on different pages. So if you need that response on a different pages, you need to call that API at different places. So instead of calling this API at multiple places, you need to load that data at once before the application loads, and you can use this data everywhere, wherever you want. So in VBCS, there's an event called VB enter. So this VB enter dispatched after all the page scope variables have been added and initialized to their default values from URL parameters or persisted values. So you can take a help of this seeded event, which is called VB enter, that will be fired before your application will be loaded or your page will be initialized, and whatever action chain you wanted to create, you can create and call it on the VB enter. And you can call any external REST API. You can initialize the few variables which can be used at multiple places. This event is basically used when you have to load the static data and you wanted to use this data at different places. Let's take an example, one more example here. You have a country business object in your business object, and you need to create a select one choice and populate this select one choice with this country data, but you need this country list at different places in the web application. So instead of calling this business object at different places, you can load this, you can call the country object at once before the application or the before page load, and you can save the response in a variable and then show it at different places wherever you want. So let's take an example in the VBCS and we'll show you how to use this VB enter event. For this, I will log in into the VBCS application and I will show you. Okay, so let me just create a new application here, learning CS application, and then finish. So first, what I will do, I will create a business object which will hold certain data, employee, and then go to the field section and create few variables here, like first name, like last name, like age, okay, that's it. Go to the data section and load few rows here, for and chain, and then add one more time. Okay, now let's try to create an web application here, learning web app, and then click on a create button. So here you just click on this application, and here you can see we have an action, we have a events. So in this event you can see the VB enter event. Just click on a events tab and then event listener, and here we will have this VB enter event which you can leverage. So this VB enter event you will see at every flow and the pages. So if you wanted to load some data at the application level, you can use this VB enter at the application level. Or if you wanted to load some data before the flow loads, you can simply click on a flow, and then again you can go to the events and then event listener, and then you can use this VB enter here. If you wanted to load some data before the page loads, you can click on this and similarly go to the events and then use that event listener here. So it is as per the requirement. So if you will use this VB enter and will call any action chain and initialize the data, that it can be used in each and every flow and the pages. Similarly, if you create a VB enter event here and call any action chain under this particular flow and load the data there, then this data can be used in that particular flow. So depending on your requirement, how you wanted to leverage it. So I will use the VB enter event at the application level. So learning web application, and then click on an event listener, and then select this VB enter event and then select. Now once you do this, it will allow you to add a action chain which can be used to call any external REST API. Click on a plus button so that I can create a chain here. Load data and then select. So it will create a action chain. You just click on a load data and then click on this. It will take you to this action chain. In this action chain, whatever you want, you can do this. Before I call any service, anything, I will create some variables here. Click on a types and then from endpoint. I wanted to call my business object. So I will create a variables here from this get employee ID next, and will hold the data like ID, last name, age, and then first name. Finish. Now I will create a ADP variable from here, variable like employee ADP, and then you can click on an array data provider and then create, and then select this employee ADP, and then you can say item type will be get employee. Make sure assigned data letter is there, and then key attributes is your ID. Now go to the action chain, and now here I will use this call REST endpoint, and then select endpoint, and here you need to call your get endpoint. Okay. Now I wanted to use the assign variable activity and will assign the result of my call REST endpoint items to this data, and then save. Now what will happen when I will load this application, the VB enter event will be fired, which will call this action chain. And this action chain will call the business object, will initialize the data into my employee ADP. Go to the main start page, which is under the main flow. Go to this designer, and here what I will do, I will drop the table component and will bind this table component with the employee ADP variable, and then data, and then select the employee ADP. As soon as you select employee ADP variable, you can select the columns here as well. You can select ID, first name, last name, and then age. Here you can see data has been populated. Now just refresh, just run your application. Open the console here. I will show you. Here you can see the employee has been called, and after that shell page, main flow called. Before the main flow loaded, it has called my employee business object, and data has been fetched here. So this is how you can use it. Now you can use this employee ID ADP variable in each and every flow, and it will not call the employee object, business object again and again. Data will be fetched from there. So this is how you can use it. So that was the first a demo which I wanted to show. The second thing I wanted to show you how to navigate from one flow to another. By default, you can navigate within the pages, but if you wanted to flow, if you wanted to navigate from main start page to another page under another flow, how you will do this? For this, I will create a new flow. Just click on this flow, and here I will say another flow, and then create. Here the page has been created. Just open this page, and here I will use the list component, list view, and then again I need to use this employee ADP. Okay, not this one, sorry. Okay, I will use only the table component. Table component here, and on this I will show you only two fields. Okay, employee ADP, and here go to the design, and then I will show you the first name and then last name. Okay, so my another page is ready. So here, go to the main start page. Here, just give a hyperlink. Use hyperlink, and you can simply change it. Navigate. Okay. So when I click on navigate, I wanted to move to this another flow. For this, just click on an event and then register an event like click event. So here, what we have is we have our action called navigate. Just drop it over here, and then select this target, and here you can see you have only peer pages and you have a shell. If you wanted to call another page, just simply use this shell, and from here go to the code. Now after this shell, you need to append it, and you need to take the flow name, another flow, and then you can give the page name also where you wanted to navigate. So if you have another page under this particular flow, you can give the page name. So shell, another flow, and another flow hyphen start. Just run your application. Okay, now this page has been loaded. Now just click on navigate. It will take you to the another flow. Here you see first name, last name, and the business object has not been called again. This data is loaded from the employee ADP. This is how you can load the data before the page loads, or you can navigate from one flow to another. That's all for this lecture. If you have any question, let me know. Thanks. Bye-bye.